that led to what happened?
Is this something accidental? There's something like that I can almost understand. And I guess that's the question he's saying. Accidental makes more sense, and that's what he was alluding to. You seem to have so much emotion right now, and obviously you care for someone for 45 years.
What was said that made you, that either set you off for things to have gone the way that they did?
I'm just not prepared to give any kind of a statement.
Okay.
Thank you for watching Why I Killed You TV. Please make sure to subscribe, comment, share, like this particular video and this particular YouTube channel. I would greatly appreciate it. On the evening of July the 18th, 2008, 40-year-old school teacher Genai Coleman, she was an elementary school teacher and also a naval reservist. This occurred in Georgia at the Gwinnett Place Mall. She was waiting in her car, waiting to pick up her daughter. A man approached her vehicle, shot her in the chest, pulled her out of the car, and drove away in her Dodge Stratus. Despite being rushed to the hospital, Coleman succumbed to her injuries. Issue was, the suspect was an identical twin. And identical twins, if they are identical, have 100% of the same DNA. Fraternal twins, meaning that they are not identical, sometimes they don't look alike, or sometimes it could be a boy and a girl, or whatever the case may be. They do not have identical DNA. Another thing with identical twins, just because they are identical does not mean that their fingerprints are identical. So let's roll this clip to see what happened with this identical twin.
They hate you. You're gonna die. I don't want to do this.
Your DNA ended up in that car.
That's interesting, because my DNA couldn't have been in that car because I've never been in that car.
Our story begins in Gwinnett County, Georgia. On the evening of July 18th, 2008, 911 emergency dispatch received an alarming call.
Gwinnett 911.
We at Gwinnett Mall and the lady just got shot.
We're at it, Gwinnett Place Mall.
We're at where the bus station's at.
Okay, can you see her? Where'd she get shot at?
She's on a tree, laying down.
Is she breathing, conscious and alert?
Yeah, she moving a little.
Okay, what part of her body did she get shot at?
I don't know. We looking at her unless you want me to come walk by her.
Did you see where the person is that did it?
Yeah, he was in a car, but he pulled off. It was like a beige car.
And which way did he go?
He went like back through the parking lot up in Gwinnett Mall.
Okay, is he white, black, Hispanic? Were you able to tell?
I think I don't know, like the girl, she African American. I mean, like she's black. And the dude, I mean, he might be black.
Where is she bleeding from?
On her side, it looked like.
On her side, like
like on her stomach.
On her stomach, okay.
A police officer came.
He's there now?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, bye-bye.
The first officer was on the scene in less than 2 minutes. The victim sustained a gunshot wound to the chest. Officers performed life-saving measures, and an ambulance transported the woman to a local area hospital. The female did not have any identification, so the case began with her as a Jane Doe. Detectives and crime scene technicians arrived on the scene. The incident occurred in the Gwinnett Place Mall parking lot near the transit station. As technicians processed the scene for evidence, investigators spoke with witnesses. A bus driver was the only person who saw the entire incident. She told investigators that she saw a tan-colored sedan backed into a parking space near the bus station. She witnessed a black male exit the passenger seat, walk around the car, yelling "mother" and "bitch" toward the driver. The man opened the driver's door and extended his arm, and that is when the witness said she heard a gunshot. The man then pulled the female driver out of the car. The female staggered on her feet, clenched her chest, and yelled "help" before falling to the ground. Now in the driver's seat, the man waited a few seconds and then calmly left the scene in the tan car. The bus driver said the shooter was wearing a white shirt with a green shirt over the top. The crime scene was minimal. There was a pool of blood and some of the victim's clothes first responders removed during life-saving measures. The victim's vehicle was nowhere to be found, and based on witness statements, the killer stole it. Detective Damian Cruz believed that the incident could have been domestic related based on the verbal argument. Another detective went to the hospital to check on the victim. Roughly 1 hour after the shooting occurred, the woman succumbed to her injuries. An investigator took a picture of her to aid in her identification. Roughly an hour after finishing the scene processing, Gwinnett County Police Dispatch alerted Detective Cruz to a call they had just received regarding a missing person. A woman named Genai Coleman reported that her sister Genai Coleman was missing. Camelia believed Genai was in the area of the Gwinnett Place Mall waiting to pick up her daughter from her restaurant job. However, Genai did not show up. Camelia described Genai as a 40-year-old black woman. She added that Genai drove a gold-colored vehicle. Detective Cruz believed Genai was their victim. The detective and his partner, Detective Edward Restrepo, met at Camelia's residence. They spot a picture of a woman on the refrigerator that they believe to be their victim. With what they had, investigators explained the situation and why Genai failed to pick up her daughter. They showed her the hospital picture of the victim. She identified the victim as her sister, Genai Coleman. Camelia was distraught. As the news set in, she called Genai's daughters to inform them of their mother's death. Lakeisha Coleman said that she was due to have Genai's grandchild, and when Camelia informed her of what happened, she couldn't believe it. She even called her mom because Genai would always answer her calls. There was no answer this time, and that is when she said it started to sink in. Genai Coleman was a very active member of her church. She was a teacher and naval reservist attached to Dobbins Air Force Base. Genai recently completed her training and certification as a military police officer. She was a single mom with 3 adopted daughters. Lakeisha said that her mom would do it all. She was a person who would listen and not judge. Detective Restrepo said that if there was ever a case they wanted to solve, this was it. Detectives forwarded Genai Coleman's license plate to all local dispatches and agencies. A few hours later, Detective Cruz received a call from the Forest Park Police. They had found Genai's car. The vehicle was in the parking lot of a shopping plaza. Investigators checked nearby dumpsters for the murder weapon and any other evidence. Ultimately, their search was fruitless. Technicians photographed Genai's car and then towed it to the Gwinnett County Police Department for further processing. Technicians lifted multiple latent fingerprints from the driver's side exterior. Inside the vehicle, underneath the driver's seat, they discovered a cigarette butt. Detectives checked with Genai's family to determine if she was a smoker or if anyone in her family was. They learned that Genai was not a smoker and did not allow anyone to smoke in her car. Investigators sent the fingerprints and cigarette butt to the crime lab. With the testing results likely months away, detectives spoke with Genai's family about any current or former romantic relationships she had. The family informed detectives of a man she met in the military who she spoke to frequently. His name was Joel Yabira, and detectives were eager to speak with him. Joel said that he was in his barracks when Detective Cruz called him and broke the news. He said he was mind-blown and sad. He added that Genai was a unique individual and a very close friend. They had discussed getting romantically involved. However, their 20-year age difference created some challenges. Joel told the detective about Genai's goal of starting a preschool and that he was unaware of any new people in Genai's life. The conversation ended with Joel requesting Detective Cruz get justice for Genai. Investigators cleared Joel based on his love for Genai and his inability to physically commit the crime as he was stationed halfway around the world in Japan. Next, detectives spoke with the father of Genai's grandchild, Patrick White. His relationship with her daughter Felicia ended, and that caused a lot of tension among the families. With Genai having dropped off her grandchild to Patrick hours before her murder, he was one of the last people to see her alive.
I'm here with Patrick White, is it W-H-I-T-E? You're the father of Felicia's child, is that correct? Okay, and his name is Justin, your son? Okay. And how old's Justin?
3 months.
3 months? Okay. I'm assuming you met Genai several times because dating her daughter over a couple years. What kind of people does she normally hang out with and associate with? What does she normally do?
I mean, she's into the whole church thing, so I guess all her friends are from church.
I don't know how often you saw her. Would you see her once a week, twice a week? Or
maybe 2 or 3 times a week.
And during that time, did she ever mention maybe any boyfriends or any friends that she would hang out with and spend time with?
She hasn't mentioned anybody, but Felicia told me she had a friend she was talking to that she met in the Navy.
Okay.
I think his name was Joel. Yeah, Joel.
Joel?
Yeah. That's the only person that she's told me she's talked to. We've conversated a few times, but when I seen her, it was just to pick up my son most of the time. But other than that, like, the longest time I spent with her was when Justin was born in the hospital. That was it.
Okay.
I never had any problems with her or anything like that.
Okay. And do you know of anybody who did?
I wouldn't even guess anyone would have a problem with her, really.
Okay. What was her personality?
She wasn't mean. She wasn't strict. Or as far as I know, she wasn't, she was a down-to-earth person.
Back on the day this happened, that would have been Friday the 18th. Did you happen to see her that day at all?
I think it was in the daytime I seen her, because she was dropping off my son to me at my mom's house.
Was she in her car?
She was in her car.
What kind of car did she have?
The Dodge Stratus.
Okay. You ever drive it? She ever give you rides or anything like that?
No.
You ever been in it?
A couple times, I think. One time.
But as far as that day, you weren't hanging out with her at all. Like you weren't in her bringing Justin back. She dropped him off.
Yes.
You were already at the house. She drops Justin off with you. Was anybody with her?
Her other daughter, Adriana, I believe. Yeah, Adriana was with us.
All right. Can you remember what she was wearing by chance?
It's kind of a distance I seen. It might have been a white, not tank top, but a short sleeve white shirt. I just seen from maybe the chest up because she was like behind the car.
Okay.
Felicia told me that her mom didn't want me to see her because her hair was crazy, and so I didn't even speak to her. I waved.
So Felicia went out and got
Felicia went out
and you just kind of saw her from.
Yeah, I was about to in the doorway.
Oh, okay.
I seen her from a distance.
So you never even said hello to her whenever she
waved. That was it.
So it's you, Felicia, your parents at the house, and then when she leaves, do you receive a phone call from her? Do you guys talk to her after that?
I didn't speak to her. I don't know if Felicia did or not. I don't remember her saying anything about speaking to her.
Okay. What was the rest of your evening like?
What did I do? I was just at my mom's house the rest of the night. And then Felicia, I think she went to her friend's house.
So she leaves, and then you're at your house with your parents. Who else is home?
It's actually just my mom, my little brother, and my sister.
Did you leave the house at all that night?
At about 11 or 12, I went out with a friend of mine, and then I came back the next day.
She drops off Adriana often at work, is that right?
Yeah, that's what I know.
What does she do during that time?
I guess since she's a teacher, she doesn't really have much to do for the summer. So, what Felicia tells me, she just, I think goes to the mall or looks for internet connection and just plays on her laptop. Because I know she lives, I don't know where she lives, but I know she stays far from where Adriana works. So, I guess to kill time, that's what she does.
Patrick's alibi was verified by his mother and his siblings. Detective Cruz ruled him out as a suspect based on his alibi and the conversation he had with him. With little to go on, investigators gathered surveillance footage from businesses near the crime scene. They reviewed the footage from the Quick Trip convenience store across the street from the transit station. At around 7 p.m., 2 hours before the murder, a man matching the description of the suspect walked into the store. He was a black male between the ages of 40 and 50, wearing a white softball shirt with green sleeves. In reviewing the video, the man entered the store that night on 3 occasions. He purchased alcohol and then a pack of cigarettes. Detective Cruz searched online for pictures of Bronson Light Longs, and they were a match for the cigarette butt left in Genai's car. Investigators now believe that the man in the footage was responsible for Genai Coleman's murder. Even with good quality video of the suspect, the challenge of identifying the man remained. Investigators showed the video to Genai's family, but they did not recognize the man. Next, they played the video for local business owners in the area where the murder took place. No one recognized the individual. Detectives then turned to the media.
Police think that video from a gas station could be the key in an unsolved murder, and tonight, Channel 2 has that video.
Despite the media attention, they were still unable to identify the man. Over the coming months, investigators worked the occasional lead, but ultimately the case stalled. Finally, nearly 13 months after Genai Coleman's murder, detectives got the break they had been waiting for. On August 6, 2009, detective crews received a call from the Georgia Bureau of Investigation. The crime lab had a hit on the DNA from the cigarette butt found in Genai's car. The DNA matched a Donald E. Smith. From viewing his booking photos, detectives believed he was the man on the surveillance video. His criminal record included multiple convictions for violent offenses. Investigators determined that Donald's latest employment was at Legal Seafoods. Donald's employer had recently terminated him for making threats to senior management. Detective crews played the Quick Trip video for his former coworkers. They identified Donald as the man in the video. While at Legal Seafoods, the detectives received Donald's job application. Investigators obtained a search warrant for the phone number listed on the application. The phone records revealed that the device associated with that number was in use in the area of the murder scene at the time of Genai's murder. Based on the evidence, a judge signed a warrant for Donald Smith's arrest. However, tracking him down proved challenging as he was transient. A former coworker of Donald's informed detectives of the location where Donald picked up his mail. On February 3, 2010, police spotted Donald entering the building. When he exited, police took him into custody and transported him to the Gwinnett County Police Department for an interview.
As I just explained before, I gotta read you Miranda, okay? Before we can talk. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer and have him present with you while being questioned. If you cannot afford a hire lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you before any questioning if you wish. You can decide at any time to exercise these rights and not answer any questions or make any statements. Do you understand each of these rights, sir?
Yes, I do.
Okay, having these rights, do you want to discuss it? I can explain this to you?
Yeah, I would like you to explain to me why I'm here.
Okay. It's about this vehicle, okay? I'm going to ask you questions. Have you ever seen this vehicle before or been in it?
No, I have not. What kind of car am I looking at here?
It's a Dodge Stratus.
No, I haven't.
Never been in this car?
Never.
Okay. Never driven or been in it? A friend of yours or anybody like that has this car?
No, I've not been in any kind of car lately other than my parents. That's it. I've not been in that car. I've not seen that car. No.
Okay.
Definitely not.
And you said you mentioned some of your parents, they live in Gwinnett County?
Yes, I do.
Okay. But you personally, you don't have a residence in Gwinnett County?
No, I do not.
Okay.
Okay. And you lived in Gwinnett at some point?
Yeah. Like 3 years ago I left. 2.5 years ago I left. I'm from downtown.
Ever since then?
Displaced.
Are you working now anywhere? You work anywhere part-time or temporary, that type of thing?
No, I don't.
When was the last time have you held a job? Will it be permanent, part-time, temporary?
This past summer I was terminated.
Okay, from where?
Legal Seafood.
Okay. What color is this car?
It's like a bronze or gold.
Never been in it, man.
Okay.
And you don't have any friends that live in Gwinnett County, just basically relative? You said parents?
I have relatives. My parents are out here, and my sister's in DeKalb County.
Okay. Do you have any other relatives in this area?
Yeah, I have a brother out here.
Okay. Does he live in Gwinnett County?
Yes, he does.
Okay. Is he older, younger? Does he live at the same address as your parents?
He's my twin.
Twin?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever met this woman before in your life?
No, I haven't.
Okay. Have you seen her ever?
No.
At all? Through a friend or a relative or anybody?
I have never seen this woman before.
Okay.
Ever. I don't know her.
You married, sir?
No, I'm not.
You got a girlfriend currently?
No, I do not.
Okay. Any children?
No, I do not.
Okay.
Your brothers, as you said, he's the same. Are your twins? Like born at the same time or identical? How does that?
Like born at the same time, like identical twins, yeah.
Okay. And what's your brother's name, sir?
Ronald. Donald Ronald.
You asked me why I thought you were involved in this. I have a picture basically on a computer I want you to look at and let me know if you recognize it as yourself or not, okay?
Sure.
So let me go grab that, all right? I'll be right back.
I'm not apprehensive about this at all. I was really shocked with the way it came down, that way they rushed up on me. But when he told me it was for this, I was relieved.
You've had issues with law enforcement in the past, I guess.
Bank robbery issues, yeah.
Okay.
It was 1982, 1992.
Okay. Your brother, obviously, you're identical twins. Has he has issues with the police, or?
You'd have to take that up with him. I'm not going to discuss other people.
No problem.
Actually, to tell you the truth,
sure,
we wouldn't even be having this conversation had it not been for this case you're talking about. Because this is just totally beyond me. I don't have no problem discussing this.
You've been straight, I guess, since the issues you had years ago?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. Because, like I said, you can hook me up to a machine. I don't even believe in them machines, but I know I had nothing to do with nothing like this, and I don't know that woman. I wouldn't have mind knowing her.
Okay.
I absolutely don't believe this is happening to me.
That place you go to, that's just somewhere you collect your mail, that type of thing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, which brings up an interesting point. How did you know that?
Yeah, we're doing an investigation. Your name came up, and you popped up on his investigation. Obviously, checking up on you. And we check all aspects of the people we're looking at. How long you been in this place now? It's been a couple of years?
About 2 years.
Is that place, that somewhere y'all can stay overnight, or how's that work?
Well, it's one of those, like a transitional type place.
Okay.
And I'm kind of fortunate to be there, actually.
They treat y'all pretty good? They treat people pretty good there?
Yeah, I suppose so.
Okay.
You know, interestingly enough, I had just recently yesterday. I don't even watch this. I like Forensic Files. It's an absolutely best show.
Okay.
And Snapped I like. But I happened to watch 48 Hours yesterday. I don't like 48 Hours. This is the way it goes.
I've heard about it. I've never seen it.
But the two episodes that they showed yesterday, which was in the 48 Hours, was about two guys that were arrested for murder.
Okay.
But they actually did it.
Okay.
And they was up in this interrogation room, just like this. That's interestingly enough.
Okay.
And but both of them had actually committed the crimes, and they had like forensic evidence that associated them with the particular crime.
Sure.
And with the way that the detectives were discussing it with them, they went ahead and admitted it. But they were kind of like locked in anyway because of their forensic type situation.
Sure.
But it was just interesting. I'm saying to myself, damn, why am I to just keep this shut the up? You know what I mean? But
he'll explain everything I guess he has in the case and what he's looking at, and guess why your name came up, and go from there. And maybe you have a perfectly good explanation for it.
Well, whatever it is, man, I just hope that I was in jail at the time. Well, I guess he'll let me know.
Yeah, he'll let you know the times and dates and all that.
You know what, man? It feels real good. I'm just realizing as I'm sitting here, knowing, I don't even know how to explain it. But I was a little scared when you first, I was like, what the hell is this about?
Sure.
But then when he said murder, it's like, that was almost laughable.
Okay.
That was relief, actually. Swear to God, it was relief.
I hope everything works out for you. I mean, if that's the case, and
well, it's going to. Definitely. Truth prevails. It's a little stressful still being in a situation.
Well, being in legal issues or police, I'm sure it's nerve-wracking. I've been a cop a while, and if I get pulled over, it still makes you a little nervous. That's just the way things go.
This is my first time being in a situation like this, even being accused of something like that.
Okay.
That's what makes it laughable for me. I mean, not that I'm laughing.
I understand.
But that's the relief of it all. Like, whew, I know it's not me, so I'm not even tripping.
Okay.
If you want to scoot up, I'll show you what I'm talking about, okay?
Was it with this guy right here?
Yeah. You're saying that's not you?
That is definitely not me. I don't have a shirt like that. I only can't even see the face on that person, but that's not me.
Okay. So that's not you?
No, definitely not me.
That's not you? Okay.
It's not me. Take a lie detector test now. That's not me. Where was this supposed to have been?
This is in Gwinnett County, not too far from Satellite Boulevard. Have you ever been in that area at all? On foot or taking a bus or anything? Or
quick trip?
Yeah, it was a quick trip.
Nope.
Okay.
Never, ever.
For that particular area, obviously Gwinnett County, Satellite Boulevard, where the Costco at, where the Gwinnett Place Mall is at. Are you familiar with that area?
The Gwinnett Place Mall, yes,
Yeah.
because that's where I would catch the bus. That's where there's a transit place right across the street from there or something.
Okay. So the Gwinnett Place Mall on Pleasant Hill, right in that area. I just want you and I to be on the same page where I'm talking about Gwinnett Place Mall. Okay. When was the last time that you recall you were in that particular area? Whether it be a month ago, a year ago, 2 years ago?
I don't know where you're actually looking at, but it was a Gwinnett Transit Center.
Correct.
Okay.
Where those buses go. I had to take the 10 to get to, I think, the 40.
Okay.
And that's where I made the transfer at.
Okay. How long ago you think you were there?
About 3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago? Okay. Is that prior to that? Do you remember being there 6 months ago, a year ago? And I know it's gotta be difficult.
Well, yeah, because when I would come out here, that's where I'd catch the bus.
Okay.
Okay, so that's the travel route, I guess.
That's
okay.
where the bus goes.
And you said you worked for Legal Seafoods, correct, sir?
Yes, I did.
All right. I got a fax from them, okay? I want you to review it with me, okay? So I can make sure this is correct information. Did you fill this out as for employment for them?
Looks like my writing, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you remember, like, I guess you were employed by them. This is, I guess, the application for them for new employment. Do you remember all this information, providing it to them?
I mean, I don't have glasses on. That's difficult for me to see without corrective lenses.
You want me to read it to you? Just so you can hear it and see if it jogs your memory as far as accurate information?
I mean, I'm looking at it. I can say that this is my handwriting. I did fill out an application for them. I worked for them.
Okay. In here, it lists some phone numbers. And then your cell phone number.
That was not mine. That was my brother's phone number.
Okay, well, obviously you must, they have it as you listed it for a contact number is what I'm saying.
Exactly.
Okay.
I didn't have a phone then. I wasn't working then.
Okay.
But your brother never actually gave you his phone so you can just borrow it?
Shit. No.
Okay.
Basically, there was an incident that occurred near that bus stop, okay? And that's what we're investigating. Does that make sense? But you don't recognize the guy in the store and you're saying it's not yourself, correct?
No, it's definitely
That's not you. The woman you've never seen before, met her. This woman right here.
Never in my life, man. Never seen her. Nice looking girl, but I've never seen her.
All right, and this vehicle, this gold colored Dodge Stratus, doesn't ring a bell?
At all.
First off is, on the video, okay, it looks a lot like you, okay? I showed it to several people and they identified you. Let me explain. They identified that individual as being you, okay?
Okay, but now this is going to be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you show that to some individual and they identify that as being me, I don't have any friends.
Okay.
I don't have any friends out here. I don't know who could have identified that as me because it's not me.
I'm just going to explain to you, okay? I'm trying to give you exact information, okay? You're saying that's not you. Don't know who it is, okay? The phone number, okay, that you listed as a contact number, okay, was in communication in that store at the time that person's in the video. Make sense?
Okay, makes all the sense in the world.
Okay. And that vehicle you said you've never seen before, and the woman you've never seen before,
yes,
okay, your DNA ended up in that car.
That's interesting because my DNA couldn't have been in that car because I've never been in that car.
Okay, well, I'm just explaining to you how we get to this point, okay? Okay.
That's interesting. Now this becomes real interesting because, as a matter of fact, I'll just be quite frank with you because, I'm pretty intelligent. DNA is split between 10 twins. It's indistinguishable. They share DNA, identical twins.
There might be a better angle, and if you're saying it's not you, you can let me know if you think it's your brother, if you think it's some friend of yours, or you've never seen that person in your life. Okay? Let him get that pulled up. All right? I'll be right back. I'll try to get you more information and ask you a couple more questions about people that you do or do not know. All right?
Your DNA was found in this lady's car. Okay. And obviously, doing an investigation on the person the DNA came back to. Then we come back to you. He started investigating you. That's when he got the application just to verify some things and find out where your mail goes to, that type of thing. And that's how he came up with you.
Oh, my Lord, have mercy. Oh, my goodness gracious. You said July 18th.
Yeah, when he got the video. It should be sometime. I think it's about a year and a half ago.
No, I'm trying to see where I was.
Sure.
I'm trying to remember because I mean I wouldn't obviously just know I would, but I might have been at work.
Okay. Well, that would explain some things. Your brother's phone. Have you ever seen it? Actually seen it in your hand, or you've seen it in person?
I've seen it before.
What color is his phone?
Hold on. I'm not going to implicate nobody else in no crime.
You're not implicating. I'm just asking you what color is your brother's phone.
I don't know.
Okay, that's fine. You know, obviously, because the phone I see there's a silver phone. I didn't know what was going on.
Silver phone.
Yeah, the one he put on the counter.
Oh well, I have a silver phone. I guess you have it, but
okay.
I didn't have it then. So
okay.
Do you recall where you were working at back then? I know you said in August you had a temporary job back in July of 2008.
I don't remember. That's what I don't remember exactly. When I seen that date, I was really hoping that I could have been at Legal Seafood, but I didn't start Legal Seafood till August the 8th.
Do you know where you were living at this time, sir?
About that time frame and
yeah, before. I was displaced. What was I at? Gateway, I think. Yeah, it was Gateway.
Gateway.
That's like a shelter, if you will.
Okay.
Downtown.
You had, I guess, a scrape or whatever with the law years ago. Did they take your DNA back then?
They sure did, the feds.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how I got in the database.
Okay, so now you're in a database, he runs the DNA, he got in his case, you get a match, okay? As you said, I think you're a very intelligent person. You have any explanation for me or Detective Cruz, how would your DNA get in that young lady's car?
Well, it could only be one other explanation, because if I don't know the young lady, never seen her, never know the vehicle, never been in the vehicle, they would have to be somebody who shares my DNA, obviously.
So obviously
that's disheartening.
Okay.
I mean, really it is, but
if it's somebody shared DNA, then it will have to be either you or your brother.
Obviously.
I don't know your brother, never met your brother. Is he capable of something like that?
I don't know, man. I really don't know.
Okay.
I honestly, no, I wouldn't have thought so.
Okay.
What does the DNA in the vehicle have to do with anything? Who's the girl? What does the DNA in the car mean? Mm-hmm. Was it spit? Was it saliva? Was it on a can? I mean, I don't know.
Obviously, with the young lady, the picture he showed you, the charge against you right now, the accusation against you is murder.
And that was the person that's supposed to have been murdered.
Well, she is murdered. She is dead.
I'll be goddamn.
Yeah. It's a shame.
Okay, I gotta ask you this.
Go ahead, sir.
How was the person killed?
We can't release that at this point, sir.
You're talking to the murder suspect?
You said you didn't do it, sir.
When was the last time you saw your brother? In the last year, 2 years, couple of months ago? Do you keep in contact with him? Y'all pretty close? Not really?
Not close.
No. When you say you've never even seen this woman before, we're left like, okay, well, I was hoping you say, yeah, I saw her, I used to work with her, somebody I saw, an acquaintance, we hung out for a minute and that was it, but I left. When I left, she was very much alive and I went about my business and I don't know what the hell she did. Well, something like that we can somewhat explain away. But when you say you never even seen her before, now I can't even explain that away. I say, because they're going to say, well, how the hell did his DNA get in the car if he didn't even know her?
No, I don't know her. Never seen her. And I've never been in a goddamn car.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, really.
Do you know how we can reach your brother to talk to him?
As you say, maybe your brother knows her as a girlfriend, or I don't know.
I don't even know the person's name.
Okay.
Does she have a name?
Yes, sir, she does. But do you know any girlfriends that your brother has? Would that be a possibility? I mean, I don't know your brother, sir. I barely know you.
I just don't know.
Do you know where he's staying?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I do.
Where is that, sir?
Well, because now I guess he's gonna be the suspect.
No, I need to talk to him.
Well, we got DNA.
You're telling me to follow.
The DNA matches
not you, sir.
The DNA you gave when you got out of, when you were incarcerated.
That's fine. But the reality is this, and everyone knows, especially detectives, is that identical twins have the same DNA. Period. They're the exception.
And that's not 100% true.
It's not true, sir.
It does split at birth, but there is a way to tell which is which. And that's what we're trying to give you the much benefit of the doubt we can. Because if it wasn't you, you need to be on your way and live your life.
But that is the logical conclusion.
Sure.
If it wasn't me, then it had to be him. And like I said just a minute ago, that's now it's becoming really, really disheartening. That reality.
I don't know how close or how distant you are, but he is your brother and you're gonna love him because he is your brother. That I understand, okay? So I'll give you some time to think about it. If it wasn't you, then we need to talk to your brother.
You said this, you talked to some people and they said that was me. These people didn't tell you that was a possibility that could have been somebody else that looked like me, like my twin? They didn't tell you that? They said it was me? Did they know I have a twin? Huh?
Yes, sir.
Did you know I have a twin?
Yes, sir.
I think you guys are gonna booking me for this anyway, but I think you're realizing that it wasn't me. And you're in a, I don't know what to call it. I don't know the phrase for it, but it's not me. It's not my watch. Not my phone. Those aren't the numbers I call. That's people I know. Okay. I don't know the girl. Never seen her.
So then, to clear this up, you'll take a polygraph.
Yeah, I will, but there has to be an understanding associated with that. Because now I'm about to get my brother possibly in a lot of trouble. If there's in fact the DNA in that car and that was associated with some crime that happened in that car, and it wasn't me, then it only could have been him. And I don't want.
You have a sister, correct?
Yeah.
What do you think should happen to a person who kills your sister?
Dude, don't even come at me like that.
I'm just saying.
Don't even come at me like that.
That young lady had a family.
You know what? And I feel for her. I don't even know her.
Okay.
I mean,
if your brother did something that stupid, you need to go ahead and just extricate yourself from the whole situation. Okay, you've had your issues and you've got your problems with life itself. And if your brother did something that silly and that stupid, you need to be like, I love him, he's my brother, but it's obvious that you wouldn't condone that type of behavior, so you just need to step aside. I mean, you can't support your brother on something like that.
No, and you're definitely right. You're right. I don't think I need counseling on that. This is a difficult moment.
I understand. It's ironic you were talking about the 48 hours with the...
It damn sure is too, man. It damn sure is.
Yeah, when you said that, I'm like, look, because I knew what he had. I'm like, it's just kind of ironic. So,
was her murderer supposed to have known her?
That I don't know. And I don't think he knows that.
Now, when I refuse this test, you gonna go ahead and book me and take me over to where you're gonna take me to?
Right now, you are charged. You are charged. You are under arrest, and whether you want to take it or not, yeah, you booked in. We gotta go ahead. If that's the case, somehow exclude you out of the probable cause process we have now. Probable cause obviously shows that you were there. It shows that you did it based on what we got now. Okay. Now, if you want to take the polygraph, that's fine, and if you don't want to take it, that's fine also. Okay. I'm just trying to be as fair as I can to you. Okay, just to give you the opportunity to give me everything. If there's something you want me to follow up on, I'll be more than happy to do that too.
Since you're arresting me for murder, could you tell me who it was that I murdered? I mean,
Miss Genai Coleman, the woman I just showed you.
Okay, no, but you didn't tell me her name earlier.
Okay,
you wouldn't.
Because you said you didn't know her, sir.
That's right.
But
So
that's her name.
What's her name?
Miss Coleman.
Genai? You said Genai Coleman. How old is this person?
Approximately 40 years of age, sir. She had 3 adopted children.
Was she shot? Was she stabbed? Was she choked to death? I mean, what happened?
She was shot and killed, sir. That's what happened. I'm just trying to find out why it happened. And I don't even know if this was intentional. I have no idea. There's a picture of the woman, sir.
Well, I mean, that doesn't change it. I still don't know her, but if I'm going to be accused of killing somebody, I would like to know who the f*** was supposed to kill. And then why the f*** killed them. This is going to devastate my parents. Devastate them.
What would you like to do, Donald?
I'd like to call my parents.
Okay. All right, Donald. Detective Crew decided at this point he's not going to let you use the phone. Okay?
So then go ahead, take me over there and book me in. I'll make my phone call from over there.
Just tell her to forget the polygraph.
Yeah, because I mean, I wouldn't have mind taking it, man, but there's got to be a give and take here.
I understand. Okay. I'll tell her to go on her way, and I'll just tell him to go ahead. If he's done with you, to go ahead and we'll transport you over there. Fair enough?
I mean, I would kind of really like to take that test. I've never taken one. Okay. And and I don't mind, but
I understand. I understand wholeheartedly. If you want to take it, I'll tell her to set it up. If not, and
don't you already told her to set it up?
Well, she is waiting, but I'm going to give her the final answer if you're going to go, because I felt, well, if he's not going to give you a phone call, you may not want to do it. So I'll tell her, forget it, he don't want to do it. But if you still want to do it, she's still downstairs. That's up to you.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but I'll take it. Yes.
Okay. All right, Donald. I was just kind of getting crews up to speed. Obviously, we went over there. You took a polygraph. I told him that you and I were, I let you smoke a couple of cigarettes. And you had made a comment to me in reference outside from the building. I just want him to be aware of what's going on and, your thoughts on it. Now, obviously, when we show you the video before, you had to, I guess, looked at it, and at the time, obviously, you said it wasn't you. And you had mentioned to me that you felt strongly it was your brother. Do you still feel that way? The person on the video in the quick trip that he showed you earlier today?
Yeah, it's my twin. That is my twin. Okay. Now, in light of the fact that I've taken this polygraph, I had no reservations about taking that whatsoever. The lady says that it showed deception.
Okay.
I know that I was extremely nervous, and when she was asking me the questions, the only thing I kept seeing was my brother doing something like that. It's devastating, actually. But when you showed me the video and I seen it, I see everything about it. It's his watch. I can see the phone. But those numbers you said that were made from that particular point at that point were people that he knew. I don't know those people. Okay. And the person was buying a beer. He always gets beer and traveling. I don't drink beer like that at all. And anyone that we know, mother and father, was to see that same video, anybody that we know that that's him and not me.
Okay.
Not only by demeanor, but certainly by dress. I don't wear clothes like he wears clothes. That's the one thing that does differentiate us. Now, again, I don't know the particulars about your case. This DNA that you're talking about, like I said, I don't know if it came off a bottle or can or out of the woman. I don't know. But it wasn't me.
Let me ask you, do you know where he is, where we could talk to him right now?
Yeah, that's why I want to call my parents. I don't know what that video is supposed to just tell you. I don't know if that incident that's supposed to have happened at that store after the individual left the store. I don't know anything about that. I don't know anything like that. Okay. But I know that that's not me. And how you associate those phone calls with that individual in that store, with whatever situation that you have here. I don't know what ties all that together. But if it is all tied together, and on that same day, in the same place or the same area, they would know that that's not me that was there.
If I needed to get a hold of your brother tonight, tomorrow, would your parents be the best people to ask that they would know where he might be or where he lays his head down?
Yeah.
Okay.
My concern is concerning my brother, as if confronted with this situation, how he would respond. Knowing that you have his twin charged with something that he did, how you would respond to that.
Do you think he'll step up, or do you think he'll let you take the fall?
All comes down to the come down. I think he'll take it. I think he'll step up. So what I wanted to ask you was about that phone call. Not that I wanted to warn somebody and like that, because you're already supposed to have your man. I need to let my parents know what the situation is, and what just happened to me today, and what I seen, and tell them that maybe perhaps you guys need to take a look at this. But if in fact all this is tied to that video, then the situation is going to be resolved.
If there's probable cause to show your brother did this, a warrant can be recalled. A warrant, regardless whether it be for felony or a misdemeanor, can be recalled. And it was signed by a judge. We go back in front of the judge and said, Your Honor, this is what we got. We got the gentleman. We talked to him. This is what he gave us. and continue to investigate the case. Because just because you're arrested, that means the case doesn't stop and be investigated. If you gave me anything, or you give Detective Cruz anything to follow up on, we'll go look at it and see. Obviously, you know.
Under the circumstances, man, you would be remiss in your responsibility.
Of course.
If you did not pursue that other particular avenue. My concern is, I just can't believe this is happening. It's not just to me, because I know I didn't do it.
No, it is to you, because Donald, if you didn't do this, I don't want you to spend no time in jail.
Well, I don't want to spend no time. I don't even want to go to jail tonight. But I know that's going to happen.
The person in the video at the Quick Trip and Detective Cruz showed you, you know him to be your brother.
Yeah.
Okay.
Having said that, what happens with that information now? Because I'm telling you that the people that knows us best, and that's mother and dad, and they're both still living and functional, would know who that is in that video.
Okay, is there anybody else?
Everybody else in my family.
Okay, can you give me those names and I can go speak with them and then show them the video? Do you have those names where I can do that? That's something I'll be more than happy to do. That's my job. I won't even have them troubled of having to leave the house, come here, I'll drive to them. It'll be a couple minutes in the piece of their home, and then I'll be out of there here. And that way it's not like they're traveling, they're stressed out. It's literally, and it'll still maintain the same integrity investigation.
Okay, now, if that were to happen, the person in that video definitively is associated with this particular crime.
Correct.
Yes, sir.
Okay, then they need to see that video.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna go grab a pen, okay, and a piece of paper, and then we can take care of that, okay, sir?
Here you go, Don.
Following the interview with Donald, detectives booked him on the murder charge. The investigators used the information provided by him to contact his family members. One of the family members detectives spoke with was the twins' sister.
Hi, how you doing? I'm Detective Henley, the Gwinnett County Police Department, and this is Corporal Lexington. Everyone's okay, nobody's hurt or anything like that. The reason... No. The reason I'm here is we've got some information. Do you have two brothers? Twin brothers?
I do.
Okay, what are their names?
You tell me.
Donald and Ronald. Okay.
It's information that one or possibly both of them are witnesses to this crime.
People are saying that they're witnesses to a crime, but we can't tell which one. We can't tell which one it is on the video.
It's a video. We can't tell which one that we need to talk to because we don't know where they're at.
And the main thing we'd want to do is ask if you could watch the video and tell us which one it is, so we know who to go ask about this crime. It's a very sensitive
what
crime.
What kind of crime? No, you got to tell me. I'm not.
It was a shooting we had a couple of years back in Gwinnett.
They're not suspects. They
were. We think they may have seen the suspects. This is something we've had to go back and do a complete investigation.
Yeah, I haven't heard from them though.
Would I be able to show you the video?
Yeah.
You know how computers are. Just give me 1 second to pop this up.
Yeah, go ahead.
One of them is going to enter here. There's 3 different screenshots, and they get a little better as they go. They say one of your brothers is going to enter here. He's going to kind of walk to the side. And then there's a shot where he's standing right in front of the counter, and you'll be able to see a little bit better.
Like a white shirt with like green sleeves.
When he comes up to the counter, I can put the volume on. You can actually hear it.
I just think there's something more to this. Tell me the truth.
No, that's the truth.
What crime did he see?
We saw a shoot. We went back and we've been trying to identify anybody and everybody that we can by witness.
The crime happened here?
The crime actually happened down the street.
Did you talk to my parents?
I haven't. No.
How did you get my name?
I don't know. How did we?
The detective that's doing some sort of a search, I think, did something with through his history, your brother's history, and your name came up, and he investigated it more. I'm not 100% sure. We were sitting at our desk and they asked us to come out and try to make contact with you and speak to you today.
You think he shot him?
No, ma'am.
It's my brother Ronald. But I want your cards and stuff.
Okay. How do you know it's Ronald?
They're my brothers.
Well, that's true. I don't know if he asked you this right. Do you know where your brothers are living?
All I know is in Atlanta. Honestly, I hear from him.
No, I wouldn't think you would lie to me.
No, I just, truly I don't know.
You just hear from him every now and again?
Every now and again.
Okay.
Usually when they want something.
I can never tell twins apart. Ever.
They're different. They're very different.
Do they have any, marks that differentiate them? Like, does one have a mole on his face or his ankle or a scar? Nothing?
No.
Okay.
They're very evenly matched.
Really?
Yeah.
But you felt that was Donald or Ronald?
Ronald.
Just by mannerisms and stuff, or? Okay. I'm not gonna take any more of her night up. Well, thank you very much. It was a pleasure to meet you.
Next, investigators spoke with the twins' parents. After showing them the video, they immediately identified the man in the footage as their son, Ronald Smith, not Donald. The parents called Ronald, and he agreed to come to their house the following day. Shortly after arriving at the home, police took Ronald into custody and transported him to the police headquarters for an interview. Forensic technicians took Ronald and Donald's fingerprints and sent them for immediate comparison to the fingerprints on Genai's car. After further research, the investigators learned that there are minute differences in the DNA of twins. However, the tests used to match Donald's DNA to the suspect's DNA could not detect those differences. Here is the interview of Ronald Smith.
All right, Ron. Things have changed, okay? Based on what's gone on, okay?
Whatever you're gonna say, could you put it on hold for just a little while?
Why is that?
Can you? You say I'm gonna be here for hours. Can you just put it on hold for a little while? I think you need to draw some blood or something.
You want them to draw the blood first? Well, you tell me what you want to do. I mean, I want to talk to you, but before I can talk to you, I gotta read you your rights.
Well, you don't have to arrest me right now.
What do you mean I don't have to?
Well,
I have to advise you of your rights. The fingerprints have come back, okay? And the fingerprints are a match. So for us to discuss the matters of the fingerprints and the other things, I have to advise you of your rights. Okay? You have the right to remain silent. Anything you can say will be used you against in a court of law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer and have one present with you while you are being questioned. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you before any questioning if you wish. You can decide at any time to exercise these rights and not answer any questions or make any statements. Do you understand that, Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Okay. Knowing that, do you want to talk to me about some things?
Not right now.
Okay. Like not right now, like in a few minutes, we'll draw some blood and then we'll talk, or not never?
I'm discombobulated right now. I can't.
Okay. All right. I'll leave you with your thoughts, and then I'll come back and you let me know. But you do understand what I've just read to you, right?
I understand.
Okay. Perfect.
Okay. One other thing. So then my brother can be released.
We're working on that.
Well, what's so hard about it?
Well, here's what happens. When someone's arrested on a warrant and taken to the jail, correct?
On a warrant?
Yes. What happened is we took a warrant out for your brother, okay? Do you understand that?
Okay.
All right. Once that warrant has been served, meaning he was physically arrested and taken into custody, okay, that now has to involve other people. Had we figured some things out prior to that, okay, then we just call the judge and say, hey, cancel the warrant. But since your brother's already been arrested, now we have to deal with the district attorney's office to release him.
So he can't go anywhere until Monday?
I'm hoping we could expedite it, but there's certain things that happen, yes. Right now we're on the phone with the district attorney's office trying to make that stuff happen right now. I want to make sure that the right person is who we're dealing with. If your brother's not, then everything is put into place right now to get him out. We operate off something that's called probable cause. At the moment, everything was probable cause for your brother. Things have changed since then, and probable cause now has evaporated against your brother. So right now what we're attempting to do is get him out of there. It's not a matter of pushing a button and letting your brother out. District attorneys need to talk to judges. The judges need to talk to people at the jail, and all that happens. I don't know how fast that process is, but all that process is going on right now. We still have to draw your blood.
And the reason for that is?
DNA stuff. We still need those things. So we have the buccal, the DNA. We've already gotten your major case prints. We've already got your photographs. Now, the last thing we need is the blood. So you let me know if you want to talk first and then get the blood. You let me know. I'm open.
I can't talk right now.
Okay. I'm going to let them come in and do the blood. Do you need any water or anything else?
I need to call a couple of people.
Like who? Once we finish up, you'll be able to talk to some people.
The person that I was, that I've known for a long time.
Okay. I could probably help you out. I mean, I can't let you call a whole, directory of people, but I have no problems with you calling and letting people know what's going on and where you're going to be. That I'm fine with that.
Oh, Lord.
You don't have any problems with needles? Like you're not gonna pass out or anything like that? Just so I know. I had someone pass out on me one time, scared the heck out of me. Okay, I'll be right back with you, okay?
And you have wonderful veins. I like you already.
I gotta call somebody. I gotta talk to somebody.
Okay. I'll get a different phone for you to use. Unless you want to use yours. I mean, it's your minutes, it's up to you.
I might as well burn them up.
Okay, I'll get it for you.
A whole lot has happened. They'll be letting down the go as soon as possible. Oh, I ain't going nowhere no time soon. A search warrant. The charge is murder. No, you know I can't say nothing like that. You know, Deb, this is really difficult for me. God damn, it's a hard phone call. This phone call was harder than I thought it was gonna be. Yeah, I have my share of guilt. I don't even know what to say. I don't know. I just don't know what to say. And if I did, I wouldn't know how to say it. I tell you this, Deb. I'm in deep. Yes, I am. I'll lay you back too. Bye bye.
Is Debbie your girlfriend?
Kind of, sort of.
How long you known her for?
About 45 years.
45 years? So you guys grew up as little kids together, huh? Wow. I don't think I know anybody that I knew that long ago.
What do you want?
I just want to know why.
I'm not fixing to confess to anything.
Okay. Then what would you like to talk about? You asked me what I'd like. I just want to know why, I guess. I mean, we don't have to go through every detail, but I kind of just want to know why. Obviously, you have emotion, you know, you're crying. I'd like to know what went wrong that day, that's all. I think everybody does. I know your mom and dad are going to want to know.
Lord have mercy. I still have to go through all that too.
What's that?
I still have to go through all that too.
Well, you got a long road ahead of you. But you've been through a lot of stuff in your life. You've been through a lot. So is your brother.
I'm not responsible for no crime like that.
What's that?
I'm not responsible.
Well, what is it that you're responsible for? What is it that led to what happened?
Is this something accidental? There's something like that I can almost understand. And I guess that's the question he's saying. Accidental makes more sense, and that's what he was alluding to. You seem to have so much emotion right now, and obviously you care for someone for 45 years.
What was said that made you, that either set you off for things to have gone the way that they did?
I'm just not prepared to give any kind of a statement.
Okay. Do you know when maybe you might be prepared to talk to us about it? You need some time?
I need to get past the hard.
Your brother really wants to see you. He misses you and he's worried about you. He asked me, can I see my brother? I really like to see my brother.
Oh, you talked to him today?
He's right next door. He's sitting in that room right there.
Are you serious?
I swear to you.
I don't know if you knew this woman, but this is the woman, okay? And her name was Genai. Okay? She had 3 adopted children. She was a school teacher. Her family begged me just to find out what happened. And they're very religious people. Mm-hmm. And they were more just wanted to know why than anger. They just wanted to know why. And I promised them I would at least ask. And I perceived it to be accidental, okay? But I don't know. Am I right in accidental?
I can't. I swear I just can't say it right now.
Okay. Well, you let me know, okay? Please.
What's up? How you doing? You gonna be alright? It's gonna have to be. I'll tell you what's gonna happen though. When they take you to the jail, process you. You're gonna see a judge tonight. And the reason they came and got me, because of the DNA. We got the same DNA. Mine's on in a database, federal database. Can you tell me why? I called Deborah. I can't tell. I can't. I went home Thursday. Dad came to get me. He was in the car. He said, you know, 2 detectives came out looking for you. And I said, for what? He said, something about being a witness to murder or something. Because the 2 detectives that came to mom and dad and showed them a laptop thing, something going in and out of QT. I'm sorry, man. A murderer.
I know there's a lot of things that are going through your mind and things that are processing. I understand that. However, this is our only opportunity to get what happened out there out, and in a way that people could understand. This is it. After we conclude here in the next few minutes, you'll be taken over to the county jail. And the next time that you see Detective Cruz will be in a preliminary hearing. It'll be a different setting. He will present everything that he has on the case, which is overwhelming. When I mean video, the DNA,
more video,
the prints, the phone records, the video on the other end where you're seen getting out of the car, wearing the same exact clothing you were at the Quick Trip, the same clothing that the witnesses saw you at the bus stop. I mean, it's overwhelming. I mean, I can't put it any other way.
What video seeing me getting in or out of a car?
Where's that?
Where you dropped the vehicle off.
In Forest Park.
In Forest Park, right next to the China Gate. The video picked it up from the store.
12 jurors are gonna say, okay, wait a second. Why did this happen? And they're gonna look at us and we're gonna explain. We sat with them, we gave them the opportunity. This is what happened. Some things went wrong. I don't know if some insults were thrown out there. I don't know. The interaction I have with you, what happened out there just doesn't match up to you, but obviously something went wrong. She was a church-going lady. She was sitting there waiting on her, I believe her daughter that worked at Longhorns, I believe.
Red Lobster.
I'm sorry, Red Lobster. That's all she was doing, just waiting, minding her own business. And for some reason, her world and your world connected. The reasons why, I don't know. I don't think you're a cold, calculated murderer. I don't believe that. And I want to know why. I want to be able to tell this family that's all they're asking for. Now, you've been living this for a while, I would imagine. I imagine this thing's been eaten up at you. It has to be. And you having to live and look over your shoulder. Are the police ever going to come? Is this going to come to light? What's come of her? Who was that lady? I know you were thinking that every night. Who is this woman?
That's why I want to say something. I really do.
Just say it.
I really do. I just can't bring myself.
I don't need all the gory details. I really don't. And I personally, I don't want to. I don't want to know it. I was there. I went after the fact. I'm familiar with what happened. If you lost a loved one,
I would definitely want to know. And our people deserve to know.
I know.
They deserve to know. Regardless of what kind of pain I got to go through. I use the bathroom.
Okay.
Smoke 1 cigarette.
Okay.
And
we'll come back and talk.
Detective Restrepo was outside with Ronald during the smoke break. The detective saw that Ronald smoked Bronson Light Longs, the same brand of cigarette found in Genai's car.
Feel more comfortable over there? I'm just trying to give you respect. Guilty. I don't know why. It was an accident. It was an air trigger. It was an accident. I swear to God, it was an accident. I should have known it was an air trigger because I had accidentally shot it that morning. I set out to take a car. It was something I'd done before when I was way younger. Heck, I was in the hotel room that morning and the gun went off. I had it in my hand and I barely touched it. And the same thing happened later that evening. That's my brother.
You have my word, and I'll have them out in a few hours, I promise.
I took the car down to the Forest Park. I did not mean to shoot that one. It was a hair trigger. And I didn't drag her out of the car. It wasn't like that.
Okay.
The gun went off. She said, "You shot me." She got out of the car.
Oh, okay.
I didn't drag her out of the car.
Okay. All right.
I didn't mean for the gun to go off in the first place.
You're just trying to get a car.
She got out of the car and she said, "Help." And I was getting in the car and she said, "Help" again. Only lighter this time. I drove off. I just wanted to get out of there.
That's reasonable.
The woman didn't deserve this. I had no intention on doing that. It went off. Shocked the shit out of me. Because it wasn't drastic. And the only way I would really hurt somebody is if someone was trying to hurt me.
Detectives booked Ronald on the murder charge, and they released Donald with all charges dismissed. Genai's friend Joelle said that he was relieved by Ronald's arrest. Genai's daughter, Lakeisha, said that she was happy with someone being brought to justice, but said that it was difficult knowing that he gets to breathe every day while her mom doesn't. At Ronald's arraignment, he pleaded not guilty. When his trial began, Ronald recanted his statement to the police, and his defense team claimed that his brother Donald killed Genai. On October 26, 2012, after a day of deliberation, the jury found Ronald Smith guilty of murdering Genai Coleman. The judge sentenced him to life in prison plus 25 years.
I hate you. You're gonna die. I don't want to do this.